Hello and welcome to the Hunt Banished Extract podcast, the podcast that's more accurate than your monthly horoscope reading. I am your host, the Drunken Bard, aka DJ, and with me are four of my beautiful co-hosts today, Sleepy Weasel, aka Tyler.
I'm a Virgo.
Sir Kaiser, aka Richard.
You can drown me Aquarius style, Daddy. I don't know.
El Maestro, aka Colin.
I don't think I want to be an Aquarius anymore if Richard is one after that.
And the patron saint of 3 stars, aka Rat329.
I'm just glad that I'm in something that's accurate. You've seen my gameplay.
I don't know. We were doing shooting range earlier. I couldn't hit you. You could hit me just fine though.
Well, Chinese New Year was recently. We could go off that.
I'm a cock.
Same, dude.
I'm
barely
a
a cock, you know?
I'm a dog.
I'm a rat.
I'm a dragon.
You're a rat?
Yeah.
That's so cute. Oh my
You know
gosh.
what's the best part about this, before we get into this, like how each of the Chinese zodiac has different like elements, and wood is one of them. So I'm a woodcock.
I'm a water cock.
Wow.
I gotta know what kind of rat I am.
I actually don't know what my element is. I know I'm the dog though.
I like that Colin had the coolest one and nobody respected it. Poor Colin.
Fuck you, Colin. No,
Literal dragon. All right.
Yeah, that's literally like the best you can be. That's so cool. That's
Dude,
metal.
I'm
I
a
used to think I
fire
was a
rat.
dog. Hell yeah. That makes sense. Your gameplay.
I had to set the bar low though because zodiac readings are insert basic human trait here. This is your monthly reading. End of story.
Definitely.
So we have a low bar to jump over. We're good.
We made it, folks. We're here.
We made it, folks. All right, gentlemen. What the hell have we been running in Hunt Showdown lately?
Double cuckoo choose, you know?
Okay,
Hell yeah.
you're one of those cancer people that only takes explosives, and right? Am I hearing this?
Do you remember that match we played after the last podcast?
Yeah, how you just picked
Where-
one up and then
Yeah, like I think I died right at the beginning, and then you picked me up, and then all of a sudden everyone just like, this sleepy guy, fuck him.
yeah,
and
I
then
died
I'm
like
just
4
you know what, I'm
times.
just gonna lob this over here, and then all of a sudden, ah, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? I am winning.
Well, that's a good point though with that gun. Like, yeah, it's a scary gun, especially if you stick people, because if you hit them, it is still a one-hit kill just after it explodes. But it's a good defensive weapon. Like,
Yeah, it is.
it's really good to just get people to run away.
I think
It's
my
also
lob
great for
skills
calling
are
in an
amazing.
airstrike on a compound.
Definitely. My lob, like the funny thing is, I'm terrible at rifle bullet drop and things like that. But like with like crossbow bolts and things like that, like whenever I throw on like Dragon's Bolt on a crossbow or Revive Bolt or the explosive Chukano, it like hits. I don't know why, because
you
I
should-
was all terrible with the crossbows. Anyways,
I was gonna say you
that's
should
what I'm
try
doing.
using bows then some more. Like,
No,
they're great.
Didn't Bard just say last episode that the bow was overrated? And I agree.
And you did too, yeah.
I
Yeah.
know, I agree. I like the crossbow so much better than the bow. But like, if you're good with the dropping, maybe you should try the bow out. Is all I'm saying.
Maybe I'll give it a reshot.
Yeah.
What else are you guys running?
The past like 2 weeks I've been playing, I've just been getting clowned on like crazy. I still am using my standard true shot with the shotgun, but if I just start doing bad, like last night right before I went to bed, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna take a normal Winfield. I got 8 kills that round, like, and more than half of them were
Jeez,
headshots. More than half of them were headshots. It's just like, that gun is so freaking good. It's so balanced. Like,
Have you played much with others or just by yourself?
mostly by myself since we
Okay.
last played.
Yeah, we just don't like this guy, and so we constantly make him go to the corner of shame and play by himself.
Yeah,
That guy.
that's
We
just my
occasionally
stupid
beat
work
him.
schedule.
Depends.
Yeah, we're like, go over there and play with yourself. Not like that.
Bad. And then we like, we slap him with like I don't know what we slap you with.
We
What is
Yeah,
it?
I was gonna say, what are you?
magazines and, like,
I was gonna say,
spray
what are you
them with
trying
a
to say
squirt
now?
bottle.
Is it a shoe or something? I don't know.
We shake the no-no can filled with pennies at him.
No can. Jesus.
Penny shot.
Well, I've been specifically taking martini. I just always like to revert back to that gun whenever I like to remind myself that I like to lead it like a long ammo, like it truly is, and then it misses every shot because it shoots like a compact ammo.
I was gonna
And
say,
then,
it's like the Vetterly.
well,
Almost like it's a bad gun.
almost like you need to shut your fucking mouth.
Hey, yeah. Like
Springfield's
freaking
better.
Sparks,
Springfield's better.
Springfield. Wait, hold on. No, Sparks, Martini, then Springfield.
No, Springfield is top of all
No,
those
you're
three.
trash.
Yeah,
Sparks
you
is best.
shut your dirty whore mouth over there,
Yeah,
Richard.
Springfield is so
Make me
good.
shut it.
Well, it's a lot like the skins that I bought for Hunt Showdown, because if I can't think of a viable reason to play a skin, I don't buy it whatsoever. But I've bought so many skins at this point, I go through a weird rotation where I'll literally play anything with a weird ass loadout. Just I have to justify buying these damn skins. And so sometimes even when there's a gun with a skin that I never play, like a regular ass Scotfield in place of the Spitfire or something, I think the judge and jury skins are sexy. Judge is a regular Scotfield, and jury is the best one, and it's actually a Scotfield Swift. So I like Martini and Scotfield so far.
Yeah, those are both good guns.
Both
Me
guns
and
that I don't
Sway
really
have
see
been
people
running,
run
like-
anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
Me and Sway have been running nothing but like the most memey bullshit we can think of.
I gotta be
Like?
trying somewhere fucking respectable. Yeah, and like
Well,
what made me bullshit?
I think
Yeah,
we
you
did
gotta
one
tell
round that
us
was
your
nothing
story.
but poison hand crossbow and explosive canoe.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's pretty.
We'd set it so they had to be in one certain area, and then we'd lob a canoe bullet in there.
I was gonna say you would just wall them into a room and then you just shoot it through the
Oh yeah,
poison mist.
it was great.
Like, that's horrible.
There was one where we decided that we were both gonna run bomb lance baseball bat.
That's
Holy
horrible.
cow.
I do recall that, and I also recall that that's kind of a baller move.
It was actually pretty fucking great.
That's awesome.
We ran one where we took melee weapons and as many traps as we could.
I
Can't
would
remember
have
if that one was
replaced that.
Sway or Penguin, but it was fucking great.
Our harpoon bomb lance with the baseball bat and double derringers would be so fucking funny.
Dude, that would be
There you go.
scary though. Like, oh no, like he's shooting at us with the Derringer. Let's go get him. Oh my gosh,
Oh
he has
my
a bomb
God.
lance.
Hang on, I have an idea. Derringer Deadeye.
Derringer Deadeye.
No,
I
that'd
mean,
be
people
too
are pretty
powerful. We need a
nasty with
Derringer
those.
marksman.
Let me pull this.
Derringer sniper.
Derringer
This-
sniper silencer.
The
Balance.
scope's totally
You gotta hold it
unnecessary.
upside down to aim it because you don't fucking have anywhere to.
The scope's like literally making it so your character has to face the ground at all times, except when he shoots.
Wait, I'm gonna take a guess at Collins. Slate.
Actually, no, I haven't been playing the slate lately.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's been
Spectre,
it's
right?
yeah, Spectre and Haymaker still.
Oh wow. And the I should have guessed Haymaker. I would have been half right.
Yep.
So I'm of the opinion I like the slate the way it looks more. Obviously, it feels better, but
Yes.
I do tend to use the Spectre more because I do like the range that offers. Which do you prefer between the two?
Right now I'm mostly just training myself with the Spectre. I still prefer the slate, but
I see.
the range makes the Spectre feel a lot better when you're in sort of medium range engagements, but
Yeah.
there's nothing like the slate. I feel like it has more power behind it, even though logically I know it doesn't.
He like
Yeah.
shoots at an opponent, kills
Kurt-
him. He's like, "Good, Colin, kill again."
Killing the slate
I-
calling to me like the Green Goblin has.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, the slate actually has the same range as a normal Romero, which
Mhm.
Mm-mm.
was the farthest. It doesn't anymore.
It is because Spectre, Crown, Romero, those are considered long barrel shotguns. Slate is a medium.
Mm.
So Slate shares the same range as, say, like Caldwell Rival.
But does the Spectre have the same range as a Romero?
The Spectre does. Didn't you say the Slate?
Maybe I meant the Spectre. I don't know if I said
Bruh.
Slate though. Now that I'm thinking about it, they're both S words. Come on, man, I'm getting them mixed up.
Yeah.
look alike.
Yeah, the Spectre does. Yeah.
Okay. Then I was correct,
The Spectre,
even though I didn't say it.
between the Spectre and the Slate, the Spectre's better at wall bangs.
I can believe that. Is that a personal thing, or do you
No,
think that's overall?
I think objectively it's better at wall banging than the Slate.
Wall banging sucks now, though.
It does, but
They ruined it. Those jerks. They ruined. That's why I haven't been getting kills lately, because I can't wall bang anybody anymore.
You can wall bang me any day. I'm just kidding.
hey, yo.
Wow. Well, I know they reverted some of the damage. I know that their wall bangs are a little bit stronger now, but it is still a little bit pathetic how little damage you can do through a wall. So
Okay with there being a little bit of damage reduction, but not like, what was it before when they first nerfed it? It was 20% of the total damage.
Isn't
Like,
was-
what the heck?
Bullet, though?
it was
Yeah.
it was up to 60 or 70.
Yeah. It was a drastic percentage take.
Yeah, I
Wait.
think
So it's okay. So what was it before, and what is it now?
it's a ballpark because I don't think anybody's put out the exact statistics, but it was roughly 70 and now it's more like 40 is my guess.
Yeah, it should be around 75 or 70, I would say. Like percentage of damage wise.
Oh, percentage of damage that leaks through. I thought you meant the opposite. How much is reduction?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
My bad.
All right. No, that's fine.
Anyways, sorry.
No, you're solid. I just misunderstood. Okay. But let's say theoretically that we wanted to create the cheapest. And I don't mean like new hunter. I'm not talking like that cheap. But if you want the most bang for your buck for a loadout, we are going to together make something feasible that a person could take. And I'll kind of chime in with the pistol. I absolutely think conversion because
I was gonna say,
55 hunt bucks, so good, such a good fucking clean shot. FMJ if you need it.
Yeah,
Those
I
sights
think
are like the best pistol. Like the
I
sights
think
themselves.
I think in terms of balance wise, the normal conversion is the most balanced. And it's also one of the cheapest. Besides obviously the Nagant pistol is cheaper, but
I was gonna say the Nagant I feel is a better value.
it is, but it's not as good
right now.
I have to
It's
just
like 24.
go ahead, Colin.
Yeah, I don't know that it's a better value because I feel like the conversion's just more reliable with
I agree.
hitting shots and doing damage.
Yeah,
what I would
real fast, real quick is the conversion does more damage per bullet. I believe it's somewhere like close to 98, whereas the Nagant is more like 90 or like 80. It's somewhere in that ballpark. It's like low 90s.
Right.
So what
well, not only that,
it more bullet per bullet.
Yeah, you hit a little bit harder, even if it's not a hell of a lot. That's basically
I'm pretty sure the
ammo.
Nagant fires faster, so you have more.
Well, I think the sights make up for that because I can't hit anything with the Nagant because the sights are so crap.
You are actually incorrect. They are almost identical. Almost identical.
In regards to the sights?
In regards to the firing speed.
Oh, the speed.
Yeah, they're the same. Yeah.
Yeah, the sights are where I say the value is for the conversion versus the Nagant. Like the Nagant has this big the middle nub is like so gigantic that I feel like I can't see what I'm actually shooting at. Whereas the conversion, like we've pretty much all agreed. It's very clean. It's precise.
Says the guy who likes to use a nitro.
I also use the label. The label has the most.
No,
clean sights
I do
ever.
agree though. I do agree.
But the nitro is the best sights ever too. 10 feet away.
So I pulled up some of the stats here. So the cycle time for the Nagant pistol is 1.5, whereas the conversion it's 1.4. The damage for the Nagant is 91, whereas the conversion is 108. So it's a significant increase. Yeah.
Yeah, $30 hunt is worth that slightly faster cycle, and I feel.
I do like the Nagant if you can get it up to a silencer variant, because then it has a lot more utility with it. But other than that, I would rather just use the officer if I'm going to use.
I think it has better sights too. Like they're slightly different.
The officer and the normal Nagant, as far as I can tell, have the same sights. But are you talking about the silencer?
He is, yes, because
I
it's
see.
basically a new screwed on sight that is it's a lot tighter than the actual Nagant.
Which is funny because the drop range is increased and it's not as accurate, but it's
that's the sacrifice you make for silence.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's such a good gun as a silenced version versus the regular version.
Yeah, I would still prefer to use the silenced version. Not to mention Poseidon's Whisper, that skin is gorgeous. So
absolutely,
you can do a skin, always do a skin, right?
I will say. The conversion only realistically having FMJ is the fact that it got bleed taken away from it is kind of a mystery to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why they took it away. Nobody ever took that gun with bleed anyways, but
I did.
I think taking full metal with that, whereas they have the chain pistol variant and you just shoot through a wall like with fanning, like that's dangerous, man. I'm surprised they didn't nerf the full metal on that. At least for the
they were being more
pistol.
experimental with because bleed. They noticed that bleed was the overall most impact to the game in general.
That's fair.
How much damage and how much it made. It forced people have to do things versus like a lot of the other stuff. I mean, obviously they took out the Dolch special ammo, like
Thank
certain
God.
types, because the Dolch should never have special ammo.
Yeah.
But,
well,
that's
and of course.
Story.
I would argue the Maynard should probably get it sidelined and scarce, but
Agreed.
People would absolutely disagree with me.
Yeah,
it's too strong.
People would just not use it anymore.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say is the Maynard sniper would become a relic if that wasn't a bullet type version on it.
Which, by the way, I don't know what the hell you guys are talking about with that gun. That gun sucks. So overrated. Like, I mean, obviously it's a skill issue on my part because, like, I've been quick timed event through that gun and it's devastating. You have no time to react. But every time I hit somebody, they can shoot at me a couple times. I'm gonna walk slowly behind this wall. Now I'm at full health. Like, what the hell?
It's like going like when the people go behind like. It's that joke where they go behind the couch and they go down the escalator, and then they come back up and
and then they kill me. And then I'm mad because I took the Maynard sniper because in between shots it takes so freaking long. I hate that gun. I absolutely despise it. No one will ever be able to change my mind with that. Just like the Vetterli. The Vetterli sucks. Cope. Anyways, so
I'd like to make a submission for the 3-slot weapon.
Thank you, Colin. I was about to move us there.
Yeah, let's get back on track. You're right. I apologize.
Marathon with FMJ.
Holy shit. Wow.
Marathon is... How much is the Marathon compared to just the
regular Marathon is 68.
Okay, so in terms of value-wise, because what is the normal Winfield at? It's like 30-something,
41.
Right? Oh, yeah. Then for sure the Marathon is definitely more worth your value. Yes, you need bullet grabber for that thing, but it has such a good, generous ammo pool. You're not going to miss that.
Yeah.
Well, you will probably... Well, okay, this will be interesting. I like this that we are now conflicting because mine would be a Springfield bayonet with bleed as the first ammo type and regular as the second.
That's a fair point. I do enjoy
I do.
me a Springfield with some dum-dum in it.
Yeah, Springfield is. They didn't
Boss
take away
killing
that
potential?
guns. Yeah.
Because boss killing potential or hunter if you're brave, and bleed, and then switch to be able to penetrate walls. And the bullet velocity is what, like 480 or something like
Yeah,
that?
I think it's the same as the Vetterli. Let me double check. Actually,
It's a
I'm looking
490.
right now.
490
490.
bullet velocity, and then I believe the bleed is somewhere in like 410.
Yeah, no, 132 damage. That's pretty good too. Obviously,
Yeah.
if somebody's
I
missing
like
a small bar, even they're dead in one hit.
Well, I love the Marathon FMJ though. That is a great suggestion because if you're getting the most bang literally for your buck, and that gun has extremely good hip fire and fast.
Yep.
And if you're able to strap Iron Eye at any point, it's worth its weight in gold.
Oh, it shoots so fast, and that thing, like the Winfield, is a headshot machine. It's pinpoint. As long as you're not too far range, it's pretty accurate. You're gonna hit what you're aiming
Absolutely.
at.
So that's kind of a tough decision. Do you get
Yeah.
because you also said the regular Winnie C. Do you stand by that?
No, I was comparing the Marathon to the regular Winnie C, but the Marathon is only like 20 something $100 more. So I would say value wise, it's definitely more feasible to have the Marathon because of its ammo pool and its versatility, its quickness. Not that the Winfield is slow or anything, but
And
you know.
any newer players who don't know the whole Winfield naming system, it's the Frontier. That's the lower ammo capacity gun.
C,
The
right?
class is
It's the
Winfield.
it's the C version, the
Is the
compact
Ranger
version.
the other one that's
Yeah.
not
Yes.
compact version? I
That's
correct.
actually really think the Ranger version is it's a solid gun. I always
yeah.
keep
I agree.
high velo on it, and especially if you can get an aperture sight on that.
Oh,
Although
baby.
it costs 80, it's pretty bang for your buck. It's
For
a little bit more than the Marathon, but with a sight on it, that's a killer.
Not to mention it's a toggleable sight.
Exactly.
The best kind.
You could switch from the sights that are similar to something like the Marathon over to the aperture, which has the best type of scope in my opinion.
I agree, and not to mention, like you said, high velo. It's going to go a long way with that scope.
Well, and Rad, I haven't heard you chime in at all. You got any opinion on this?
I've been kind of going back and forth. Like these are all really good suggestions, but I would argue for both either the Infantry 73L because it's got an 18 round internal magazine and 20 in reserve. You can lever it, and it has fucking shit. What kind? It's got FMJ, high velo, incendiary, poison, and subsonic.
Yeah.
So you can make that ammo pool even bigger if you take the subsonic.
I can't remember. Does the infantry have the bayonet variant as well?
Yeah, that's the one that has sex gun if you unlock it.
Ah.
And then we got like the other one that I'm kind of torn between is the Lamat carbine because it is 115, yes, but it has that backup shotgun and a 9-round cylinder.
Ooh,
That is
you got
true.
a good point.
That's 2 guns in one.
Yeah, you're getting 2 guns in one, and it has a 9-round cylinder. So it takes a while to run out of ammo.
I would have argued that previously, but where the Lamat carbine got a muzzle velocity boost to 490, I have to give it some leeway there. I think it is an excellent gun. The 107 damage as opposed to even the Winfield's 110. That's where if you're pretty good, I won't say exceptional, pretty good at headshots, it is going to treat you right.
Yeah.
Yep. Not to mention it does have a scope variant too if you like scopes. So can you put
if you can't go
for another
yourself,
$12
right?
bucks. Another $12 for a marksman scope, and it has FMJ.
I was gonna say, does it have? I don't think it has high velo, right?
No, it's got FMJ and incendiary.
Okay.
But it has slugs as well.
It does.
Right. That's true. Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't know that the only reason why it's hard for me to jump on something like that, being like the double, with the shotgun shells and the other types of bullets, is the fact that the firing pattern with the LeMat makes no sense to me. But that's more of a personal thing. It
Right.
just means that gun doesn't work for me. So
Right.
I guess I could argue the fact that it's the versatility of it not being a gun for everybody versus some of these other guns could be for everybody. Because you said a headshot killing machine if you can hit headshots type of thing.
Right.
Well,
And-
one argument I would have against the LeMat carbine is you don't have it unlocked right away. Like, yes, the variants you don't have unlocked right away either.
That's
But you
another
have to
idea,
use the LeMat quite a bit before you get the and get kills with it before you get the carbine. And if we're talking cheap, that might be harder for some people.
That's true, but I would also like to bring up my one slot option, which would be the regular LeMat.
Yeah.
Because once again, 9 rounds, you can fan it. It has slugs. You've got FMJ on it.
How much does that one cost?
83.
It is
It's only
83.
$30 more than the conversion pistol.
So would you say the LeMat is worth more than a Marathon, like in terms of usage and value?
Yeah,
I mean, I would say so just for the backup shotgun.
Well, it actually is kind of nutty because the LeMat does have a full 75 meters per second velocity over the conversion. That's actually nutty.
I actually did not know that. That makes that gun so much better.
It is a crazy good gun for super cheap.
And the actual damage per bullet is 97, which does kind of really hurt the thing. But the drop range is exceptional at 75, so that's hard to argue. Since
for
you
a
can
pistol.
And it also has a total ammo pool of 27. If you take the carbine as well, you get 3 full reloads out of it. The carbine also has 27 rounds.
So
with the regular LeMat, you can dual wield. You can also fan. You get FMJ. It has a surprisingly good drop range and bullet velocity. Like its sway even isn't all that bad. Like its sway is 128. If we were to look at the conversion, if I can ever fucking find it.
Yeah, I've got it here. It's 128.
Yeah, so they have the same sway as the conversion pistol, and you still have that follow-up shotgun.
So
the shotgun ammo does stack if you take a shotgun with you as well. So you can take a shotgun with slugs and add that to your LeMat pool.
So with it being a cheap loadout, though, would you just take a Romero, and would that be viable in regards to most situations?
Oh, absolutely. The LeMat works great at some pretty
No,
decent
the
ranges.
shotgun itself, I'm saying, in addition to like having the LeMat.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The LeMat works great for the ranges outside of the Romero, and then the Romero has fast reload. It's actually got a really good spread. It's weirdly accurate. Like I think that's a perfectly solid cheap loadout.
I would argue
the Romero.
The Romero is about 60, 54, I think.
Okay.
And then, so what I would say is, Marathon or Springfield, if you really want, like Marathon, if you really need some other shots. Springfield, if you really need something that slaps hard for a first shot, and then a conversion, because that's going to put you in the ballpark of roughly like $200. And then if you really want like a cheap but also really, really bang for your buck, dual LeMats are hard to go wrong with, because the bullet velocity is arguably almost identical to some of those guns, but with high velocity if they had them. So, but the sights are arguably atrocious for some players.
What if RNG is never on your side with dualies?
That's why you don't run a duel. Sure.
Yeah.
It's $66 for the Romero.
Okay.
So
Yeah, that's not too much.
that's 83 and 66, so $149 total for a Romero Lamat loadout.
Well, and
Yeah,
dual
it's definitely not
pistols
bad.
are sadly rarely worth your quartermaster, especially since you'll want to take another trait, which is a 3 cost, but
Mhm.
it also is another trait slot. I think almost everyone would rather take something like the Haymaker, like Colin's Old Faithful, or a shorty shotgun, or
Romero
even there you go, and then it
Mhm.
covers the base for you
Bang for
with
your
attacking
buck.
a boss. So it's hard to justify something like dualies because they're so RNG, as you literally just pointed out.
Yeah. So I guess something I wanted to add, Rat, you're talking about ammo pool. Well, I think one time we were talking about, having more bullets versus less. When I had more bullets, I would miss more. When I had less bullets, I would hit more, like ratio wise. So, in a way,
But
I would argue that like having less bullets wasn't necessarily a bad thing. Like ammo pool, obviously, having more in the chamber is a good thing, though.
I think we're looking at this whole situation pretty concise, but we need to get a little more broader. Like, what are we using these cheap loadouts for? Like, I would argue that the higher ammo pool would be better because you're not just fighting hunters, you're fighting, mobs,
But usually you have a
maybe even
knife, right?
bosses and
Knives
stuff.
are pretty cheap. It's almost pretty much like essential to bring
Yeah,
a
for
knife.
some of the mobs, but
Mhm.
then you have like Concertina Armoreds, you have the bosses that if you don't take the normal knife, you're going to have a bad time.
So
And
I
the
guess with
normal
the
knife is the one
loadout,
that costs the most. So
does that mean we need to like add on to like the other parts of the loadout to still maintain that cheap loadout? Because there are essentials when playing this game. Like if you don't have a health kit or a shot or anything like that, you're might have some trouble.
well, of course, yeah.
We'll elaborate on that in just a moment. Don't worry.
Well, we
Okay.
could also look at it in the same way as like the most versatile, because you could also go with like a
Yeah.
riposte or a claw or talon.
Yeah.
for
That's
your
exactly
main hand
why.
and a brawler for your secondary weapon, so you don't have to take any melee weapons.
Right.
That's an extreme situation, and I would argue you should avoid that at all costs because I feel like a lot of melee weapons with the actual guns minus the main 3 slot could be terribly inconsistent, especially with hunters. With mobs, go right ahead, but if you're relying on a officer brawler to kill a hunter, it'll do the trick, but there is a chance it'll miss pretty hard.
Not if you're me. I always aim for the head. I have a special trick actually. Here's a nice little fun tip for you guys. Because most of the knife kills that you get, you have to aim for their head to kill them, like melee kills. So if somebody is chasing you with like a melee weapon and you have an officer brawler or any other melee weapon, right before you stab them, jump so they can't hit your head and they hit your torso instead, and then you still hit them in the head as long as you aim down. Just so you guys know, for those of you who are struggling with melee kills.
It's a great tip.
Yeah.
That's an exceptionally good tip because you would be surprised. Or do the opposite, crouch. It might not be as effective, but it will definitely throw your opponent off.
It will. That would probably throw them off even more, but I do think it would be harder to achieve.
Yeah, well, you won't keep momentum
if they were aiming for your body, though. So there's that too.
True.
Yeah, stab him in the cock. It's fine.
Or you know, if you're me, you just swap to the shotgun on your Lamat, spin and blast them because they're not gonna kill you if they're chasing you with a knife and run right into a shotgun.
Well, of course, but I'm talking in those niche situations where you and your enemy, you're shooting at each other, and for some reason neither of you are hitting, and so you both just pull out your melee weapons like and start running at each other. So that's happened to me a lot. I know it's happened to me. So, anyways, Loadouts,
Right.
sorry.
No, you guys are fine. But one of the big points is because a lot of people, it's not always necessarily for functionality. I mean, it's the most functionality for per hunt dollar, but it's mostly so people can gain a lot of money quickly. A lot of people love that. It's sort of the adrenaline rush of watching your money go up, like, just watching the number climb. So
Yeah, if only that was like real life.
Right, except all of us are poor as fuck, and Godspeed, everyone. I hope you all make it to retirement. So, but I think we have a pretty good consensus. We can kind of add some leeway on those guns, but I would argue, especially if we're going to the tool slot heavy knife, it's $20 hunt dollars. Stop calling it trash. I've had streamers, those TTVs on PC, where I'll spectate them afterward, and they're like, "He killed me with a heavy knife." You're damn right I did, because you underestimated the heavy knife.
Yeah.
The only thing I would argue,
knife all the way.
nah, I would rather use the brawler than the knuckles, but or just
How much is a knuckle knife?
knuckle.
Real quick before you go on, Tyler.
It is $50.
Okay.
So it's the most expensive knife besides the spear.
Heavy knife is 20, so it's
The cheapest.
significantly, yeah.
Yeah, go
Well,
on with your thought, Tyler.
the only thing that the heavy knife is not really that good against are like boss characters, like the bounties themselves. The heavy knife doesn't really do too much to them.
Killing other hunters.
None of them do.
No, but killing
I've had issues with that lately, but it could be
killing other hunters though with the heavy knife is easier to do than the normal knife, I would say, because it has better range and it's faster. So
and it causes bleeding.
Yep, if you swipe at them, yeah. Or if you don't kill them in one hit, they have heavy bleeding.
I've swiped at them multiple times. I'm swiping directly at their chest, and it hits arm almost every time recently. And I felt cheated way too many times recently.
It does a wide angle. Always aim up and hit them right in the head.
I was going to say,
guaranteed.
You want to plan to give them a Joker smile because it slashes horizontal. So
yeah,
I've never had the mullet knife fail me.
I love knuckle knife, but it's not a cheap loadout. It's a cool 50 each and every time you buy it, and we die a lot. Let's not be dishonest with ourselves.
It is 50, but it is the total combined cost of a heavy knife and dusters.
How much is a regular knife, though?
40.
40.
40
so
compared to 20 and
knife.
50. Okay. The thing is, I wouldn't even worry about dusters because you have your guns, and if you have a reliable gun, like a big, large slot, you can use that and you'll be fine.
Yeah, but let's also look at how many times you have to hit an emulator and how much stamina it takes to kill them. Whereas with the knuckle knife, it's 4 hits, and the dusters, it's 3.
But you could also argue that taking a stamina shot is in your benefits, or a weak stamina shot. So, but that's later on. So
yeah, that's later on. If we're going with a cheap loadout, you're gonna want to take mostly offensive shit.
And if you want a cheap loadout, you definitely want to take the heavy knife, not the knuckle knife, because you have to. I think you unlock. Don't you unlock the knuckle knife later, anyways? Like it's level locked.
Yeah,
that is something to consider as people's prestiging, but it is a little less because it is less common for people to prestige because Crytek has not given a hell of a lot of incentive to prestige anyway. But yes, absolutely.
Yeah. How much are dusters, out of curiosity?
They're 30.
30.
What's
okay.
Yeah. And so that one, I argue that's the best flexibility. That one you don't have to listen to me and take a heavy knife or even that one's the most flexible because that's the cheapest expense you could go for. Obviously, you have to take a health kit. There's no question, unless you're psychotic, in which go for it, I guess. Yeah, good luck, soldier. And then choke bombs if you're playing with teammates. Otherwise,
always
I hate you.
With teammates, always. If you're playing with a team, take a choke.
Not
unless you forget.
Throw a firebomb at your teammate when they hit the ground.
That's happened once.
A firebolt, on your crossbow.
That's literally happened with I'm trying to remember who I was playing with, and they burned their teammate instead of putting them out.
It was me.
Uh, so it was Rat.
I
It
have
was
a
with
clip.
Sway. There's a
where-
clip too.
Yeah, I have
so
a
Rat and
clip
I
where-
probably have both done this.
Yeah, I have a clip where fucking I was trying to create a smoke screen, threw a hellfire bomb right on top of my teammate. Bard was just watching us and goes, "Dude, that's cold. You're just gonna let him burn out?" And so I'm still trying to fight.
I remember
while he's
that
just
one.
burning.
Yeah.
Unreal,
It's like
but
this
yeah.
freaking like secret agent music going on, like as your teammates burning out.
If you're playing solo, I know it's tempting to take kill trap, concertina, poison. I would argue do bear trap and poison instead because it's cheaper and more effective. The bear traps are better than the concertina, in my humble opinion. So you don't have to take my advice if you don't want to. But
This thing
if
is
you're
dirty.
if you are playing with team, I would say the penny shot derringer or something to burn an enemy is arguably the best.
Yep.
In the tool slot, like fusees, flare gun,
Mm.
or penny shot derringer, in my opinion.
And I would like to point out that most of my answers so far come from the perspective of playing a lot of solo. So like
See, me
I'm looking
too.
at the cheapest with the most versatility. So like I really like extremely versatile weapons like the Lamat. The knuckle knife makes it so I don't have to worry about immolators because a lot of the time I've played, I don't have anybody to back me up.
See,
Well,
like that's weird because that's where you and I disagree because I would rather just stick with like the one like yeah, versatility is important, but if I'm hurting on hunt dollars, I'm not going to be spending more for the extra versatility just to get headshot like by a camper who's sniping me from 80 meters away, you know, like
Oh, yeah.
I exclusively pretty much play solo and like I don't even play with randos. I don't like doing that. So like I don't know, like I like to stick with weapons that I know I can rely on versus the versatility. But that's just me. Like, because I'm talking like the cheapest loadouts. Like when I'm hurting for cash, like oh, yeah, I'll just take a Winfield and a conversion usually. for
Well,
the ammo
and-
pool.
When I'm hurting for cash, I'm still taking that knuckle knife because that way I have an answer. And then like I'll take fusees because armoreds exist and fuck those things.
Yeah, fusees are super cheap anyways. I think if you're running normal bounty hunt versus bounty clash, it's good to have fusees, even with bounty clash, that way you can burn other enemies. But
Well, if you're really
Yeah.
hurting for cash that much, there is this thing called the free hunter where you
yeah, but
can
we're
do
ignoring
anything.
we're ignoring the free hunters.
Right, cheap and effective, right?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Obviously, free hunters are a great option. But with penny shot derringer, I can't stress enough. It's not to have a shotgun option if you don't have one at all. It's more so that thing is a pocket boss shredder. You literally can, with all 4 shots, do about 2/4 of the boss's health. And if it's Scrapbeak, he might give you an ammo box, refill it, and you'll kill him even faster.
Not to
But you-
mention, it's quiet.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty quiet.
And,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
to
you could
further
say
drive
it's,
this point home, to further drive this point home, like most people, if you're anything like me, your go-to is to take sticky bombs because they take out 3/4 of the boss health.
hmm
That's $64. So the penny shot derringer costs 1 less, and it's reusable.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
Well, you could say that this is the most versatile weapon because it is a door opener, an immolator killer, a boss shredder.
It's absolutely fucking
Yeah.
insane.
a
Like
He's
hunter
absolutely
killer.
right.
it is.
That's right because the penny shot can kill emulators without setting them off for
Without
some
setting
reason.
them
Yep.
off. Yep.
Yep, it does not explode immolators. Go ahead and try it.
Yeah.
It is by
What a
far like
bullet,
it
yeah.
is actually weirdly enough just above choke bomb for most versatile tool.
Give a round of applause to the penny shot.
No, the lamp. Anyways, let's move on.
We can't speak of the lamp. We have to give it a moment of silence.
I'm just gonna ignore the
Oh,
hell
I
that
thought-
I'm in.
I thought we were actually going to give a mode of silence, damn it.
Yeah,
Well,
Bard
all right.
didn't want to acknowledge that, so he was
No,
like, I'm ruining this moment of silence.
My moment of silence is the faith I have left in you fuckers. All right. So moving on to, I think we kind of mostly agree on tools. What about consumables? We're aiming for a bang for buck, so this one's going to be one of the harder ones.
Vitality shot.
Regen shot.
Okay, but which, the weak or the
Weak
full?
vitality.
Weak vitality.
Vitality.
Full regen.
No,
But
I would say
110, isn't it? Or is it
But it
changed?
gives you 10 minutes of quicker health regen without needing to waste medkits.
But if we're talking cheap, just take 2 normal weak regen shots. It's like less.
That's 10
Yeah,
minutes.
but then that takes 2 slots.
So we're going cheap. You don't want to take a lot, right?
I thought that we were going value. That's
been
the argument for a lot of other things. Value.
You're both correct. Weak value.
Yeah.
Like cheap value, rather. Cheap value. You're both correct.
Now
So
I'm
bang
going to
for your
argue
buck,
with both of
so
you
to
on this
speak.
that the most must have consumable is any of the antidote shots, because complete immunity to poison is so much more valuable than slow regen.
If
But
you're
would it-
starting out the game just barely, I would say yes. But if not, and you're more of a veteran, don't worry about it. Or not even veteran, but just been playing for a few hours.
Well, okay, all right. You had me until you said a few hours.
No, well, a few hours meaning a few hundred hours.
Okay, absolutely. A fucking man then. That was beautifully said.
Well, the one argument I would like, as much as I agree that the antidote shot, it's fairly cheap, it's super duper uber useful, but you don't have it unlocked right away either for
But
those.
You have a weak antidote shot unlocked right away, I'm pretty sure.
The weak
All right.
antidote is unlocked.
Hang on, I don't think you do.
Well, let me intervene a point here. Let's say you never pick up a single other consumable. Totally irrational thought, but let's say that that's the case. What are you taking if nothing else comes into your consumable slot?
Okay.
I'm still saying immunity to poison is too good to pass up.
Gosh. I'm gonna stick with my guns here. I'm gonna stick with the full regen shot.
I think weak vitality is still.
Yeah, I would go weak. Yeah,
content.
Weak vitality, super quick heal.
I completely agree with you guys and Colin. Weak vitality, full actual recovery shot, the health recovery. What is it again?
Oh yeah.
And then no stamina shot. People will be like, "You're crazy." You're goddamn right, I am. Because if you have enough faith in yourself, stamina is recoverable. Health, only if you got that recovery shot.
Yep.
Well, so here's the thing with stamina, like to add on to your point, DJ, like say that like you only have a blunt gun, right? Like, and that takes 4 hits to kill an emulator if you hit him in the head. That's gonna, if you have 100% stamina, those 4 hits are going to get rid of your stamina. But just because you don't have full stamina doesn't mean you can do a full hit. All you have to do is take a step back, wait for a little sliver of yellow to show up on your stamina bar, and now you can do a full hit again, and it takes 2 seconds. Like,
absolutely,
it takes no time at all. You just have to learn how to time it.
Well, and one of the biggest arguments against it will be, well, if you keep sprinting your stamina, you'll get the slow sprint. Well, sure, but that's also avoidable. And I know this is extreme case. We're talking the most value. I would say no stamina shot. It's crazy.
I would agree to that, actually.
Yeah, I would like to point out it takes exactly 16 steps without sprinting to regain your sprint stamina bar.
Wow, that is dedication. I didn't even know that.
If you stop running and you count 16 steps, you can sprint full speed again.
Having said that, I usually do take a stamina shot with me if I'm doing normal bounty.
And that's fine. We're talking if you needed full value for what you were taking. Total
Let's say
extreme.
you only have like $500 or something like that.
Right, and that's the thing, which happens a lot when I just prestige. I don't have the full stamina shots, so I end up just taking 2 weak regen shots because I haven't unlocked the full one. It's not worth even taking any stamina at all.
Well, and relying too much on your stamina, like infinite stamina, is an absolute fucking hindrance on your gameplay because you're
It's
gonna
gonna go
run
away.
into and you're gonna run into scenarios where you play a late match and then you go for a melee on the enemy and you would have had him, but you did a light melee instead, like a weak light melee, and then you're dead.
Yeah.
That'll happen. That has happened to
It
me.
will happen. Yeah.
I don't know. I'd still like to point out if you take an antidote, you're now immune from the main
Hives.
drawback of hives.
We talking about
You're-
weak or full?
Either one.
Either, yeah, I would imagine.
You're immune to.
I would argue full
the-
because
You're
best-
immune to
yeah.
the leeches around meatheads, and they guard tons of clues. You're
Yeah, and
immune
those little-
to the drawback of one entire ammo type.
Yep.
and-
Which
and
is
the-
a big drawback
And the
too.
spider is way less of a bitch to fight.
if you're going for throwable though, if you're aiming for actual PvP, because my true answer would be the regen, a weak vitality shot. So focusing
Dynamite
mostly
or-
on health and
Health.
2 B jars, 2 hive bombs. I
pretty
just
good,
think
yeah.
they're so good.
They're really good, but fucking wax dynamite stick would be my replacement.
That would be my answer as well.
It is
Wax.
$5 more expensive than a regular dynamite stick, and you can throw them into choke bombs, water.
Yeah.
Great
Yeah,
answer.
like they can
That's a
kill
good,
meatheads
yeah.
in one go. They're great.
They,
gonna-
I call those old faithful, so like I
Well,
can always
the-
count on them.
The reason I personally would say hive bomb is because not only does it give a confirmation if you throw it around a corner where you think an enemy is, and you know that sound, that's chasing sound that the bees make, but it immediately forces your enemy to A, move, or B, react, and that is an opportunity for a free bullet. And if they
Right.
choose to try and shoot through the hive, that's going to be difficult for them. So it's a huge advantage, especially if you're looking for like that upper hand on an enemy that might be a better shot than you.
It is
My
really good at
favorite
flushing
shit to
people
do.
out. Yeah.
My favorite shit to do lately has been when somebody throws a bee jar at me, and I just turn and fire a flare through it and don't even react.
And that's fine because they still have to sacrifice. Let's say it's a team
Yeah,
fight. They have
do
to
something,
sacrifice
yep.
a flare. Exactly.
Yep.
It might be minimal to them, but it might be huge to you. It
But now
all
you know
depends
where
on the
they're
fight.
at, though.
Yeah, exactly. You still know where they're at
Yeah,
because they
you
had to
still
shoot
know
it.
where they're at because they had to mess with it.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
That's a
and,
thought.
and that's fine. But if I shoot that flare through the bees and they start pushing, I know where to look for where they're pushing because I saw where the bee jar came from or
Yeah,
heard it.
it
at
works
least.
both ways. That's for sure.
Yeah, so
Right,
that-
Exactly. Amen.
That's why I love that shit because I generally run a Lamat carbine with Star Shell as my secondary for the carbine, and then either single or dually regular Lamats with just shotgun ammo.
For your close
And I-
range, right?
Yeah, and I can quickly swap to the shotgun ammo, fire a flare through it, swap back to the Lamat, and start shooting. And it is so good.
If
And
I
you have a
remember,
shotgun,
if I remember correctly,
power.
too. Sorry, you go first.
I was just mentioning that if you do flare with that shotgun shell, you're not using a shotgun anymore, so you kind of take that away, but you are going for something else. But anyways,
Well, yeah, I
thought.
mean, if you take out the bees and you still need a shotgun, swap to the pistol, turn that to shotgun.
Gotcha.
And that's why I generally run so many Lamats.
So you have more versatility in your bullets. Gotcha. Anyway,
So with, does it work the same way? I'm pretty sure it does, but I can't quite remember. If you throw, or if you're getting chased by bees, I should say, if you have like fire rounds in your rifle and you shoot into that with the fire rounds, that'll also ignite them, right?
I
like
believe
Dragon's
so.
Breath?
Dragon's
Or
Breath definitely
Incendiary?
does, but I think regular Incendiary doesn't.
Yeah,
That's weird
Dragon's Breath
because-
will.
Because I've had it in cases where there's just like a normal zombie, and since I'm taking a silencer trying to do that stupid weekly challenge where I have to kill everything with fire, it's not very accurate. And so sometimes I will miss, but the fire that the bullet creates will still ignite them, and then they will die by the fire and not the bullet.
Oh, if you're killing a zombie inside of a bee cloud, absolutely, because they technically count as an on-fire object.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just talking if you shoot through the bee cloud with a normal incendiary round.
And then the grunt.
Oh, I
is
have
like
no
fine.
idea.
Because it will light up grunts if the bullet misses, but the fire will still light them up.
I'm
Yes.
going to test this real quick. in shooting range because
Okay.
I need to know.
I have
Okay.
I've never
something
tried
that
it with regular incendiary ammo. I've only ever tried it with flares.
I think there's something we're missing from this like cheap loadout. You know, this is mostly for the solos out there, you know. I think that the solos really just need a friend and a cheap friend at that. So you better take yourself a choke beetle.
Yeah, I knew that was gonna be your you're going with. They're so
Good scouting.
cute. They're
Good
so
scouting.
And good scouting too. Yeah.
Well,
I-
choke is a hyper aggressive thing. You can hear it through walls. I like that.
And
I
they
would-
can't really shoot you very well if they're coughing.
I would also like to point out another thing that we completely left out of here, and we should have looked at it more when we were talking about the guns. Certain weapons that can split their ammo pool.
That's true. And that's fine, but I think most compact can't do that. And compact will the low medium ammos like the Springfield, where low cost, single shot, but I did mention the Springfield with bleed and regular ammo, so I did mention a split one.
He did, yeah.
Yeah, if you can split your ammo, like I've seen some crazy plays just from people swapping ammo real quick.
Only
so.
if you're good though, you know.
Don't discourage people. If you're
I'm
still
messing around.
if you're still fucking missing shots, bro, I still am, and I've played way too much.
We all start from somewhere, and I will definitely talk about how many times I died before I finally got a kill. That was the most glorious day ever.
Absolutely. And anybody got any last things? I think we agreed pretty hard here where it kind of, I think the large slot is like a small variety. Conversion or Lamat, if you're feeling a little spendy, seems like the best secondary. Heavy knife if you're feeling real cheap. Knuckle knife if you're wanting to splurge. And then
Right.
I med kit always. Other two are a little more flexible, but if it's a team, it has to be a choke and something to burn. And then I also didn't mention alert trip mines. I should bring this up real fast. You could trap barrels, you could trap enemies and burn them real fast. Alert trip mines are arguably better than the flare pistol if you can at least go up to your enemy. Better value. That's it.
You know.
Yeah,
Okay,
because you can do
so,
it more.
The bees, Dragon's Breath and flares will kill them, but regular incendiary will not.
Okay. That's great
But
to know.
that's so weird. It will kill zombies even if I don't hit them. That's so strange.
I believe 3 heavy swings of a heavy knife and then 2 regular punches of knuckle knife, and then I think 2 heavy swings of knuckles will kill them. Something in that ballpark.
So,
Right.
are we talking about immolators?
Bees.
Oh, bees. Yeah.
Somewhere in that ballpark. Okay, boys. So we also have our comments and our poll. Our poll has been a little inactive. A big sad, but everybody's still listening, so I appreciate you immensely. You're all fantastic, but it just makes the pool of what we're actually measuring here a little inaccurate. So do that what you will, because our poll was, should there be more scarce custom ammo for certain weapons? Because we had yes, no ammo should be scarce and custom shouldn't exist. I tried to bait you guys a little bit, but almost nobody bit down.
Maybe that's why it's been inactive.
Oh, fuck it. Custom ammo shouldn't exist.
Well, 2 people said yes, there should be more scarce ammo. I'm absolutely with them. And then 1 person said no ammo should be scarce. Whoever you are listening to us, come here. Have a seat. I'm about
Like,
to
I just
Chris
wanna
Hansen
talk
your
to you.
ass. Yeah, just a little bit.
I just want to talk.
It is your opinion, though, and you're welcome to it. It's okay.
Bullshit.
Absolutely unbelievable. And we had I believe one comment on our YouTube video, and then we had one on our Spotify. since you're his biggest enemy, Rat, do you care to read the one on Spotify?
Yeah. Let me pull that up real quick.
Okay. But
Now,
honestly,
Martin says,
go
on
ahead.
on the boss side's comments, definitely agree there should be more bosses that encourage a more ranged approach to them. Example, a rat king that causes bleed if you get into melee distance. Lots of rats are going to bite you at that range. More reason to bring fire bombs too. Maybe even smothers or some other sticky bombs if you don't cook them long enough. Oh, maybe even smothers sticky bombs if you don't cook them long enough. More ways to make bosses harder, please, Crytek.
I like it because I don't want PvE to be too easy, but where tool melees got nerfed into oblivion and world melee weapons are so difficult to find, it's difficult to say, hey, please make the boss even worse. At this point, I think the balancing's kind of wild with that shit right now.
Yeah, it's kind of Wild West. They're still trying to figure it out. I think they're still experimenting, so I don't think it's going to be the same by next year. At some point, I think they'll at least change it once or twice.
If we could at least say, hey, make the bosses have new move sets, that
Yeah.
I would agree with.
Yeah, that'd be
Agreed.
kind of cool. More
Yeah.
animations, yeah.
Yeah, something that spices it up and makes it a little harder. I mean, come on. I can't
could have-
possibly argue that.
But
could
I
have,
think
like-
we all would agree more bosses would be great too.
More
Yes.
Yep. You could have like different bosses do like, let's say the butcher does something different than fire or something like that. Like he's a different version of it, a more corrupt version, just for gameplay's sake, not necessarily like lore. I know there's issues with that these days.
Absolutely. And we did get a new comment on YouTube. We got somebody who decided to comment. So thank you so much. If you leave a comment, we will respond. So feel free. It was Mike Breckner. And he said, "What's up, fellas? Just found you guys maybe a week ago through just Googling Hunt podcasts. It's a miracle you found us. I think the algorithm fucking hates us. So welcome, brother. Have listened to most of the backlog, I think, while at work. And man, was that shit amateur as fuck. I hope you enjoyed it, though."
He's like, so there I was digging through the bargain bin and I found y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. With the Walmart of podcasts.
Hey, man, we will never say no to more people doing a podcast on this game, but we just enjoy what we do. So glad to have you, Mike.
Thank you
Cheers.
for joining the madness. Sorry in advance.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
Well, and what's crazy is even on Spotify, we're nearing 200 followers now. That's fucking crazy, guys. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you guys. Yeah.
It might be humble, small numbers, but to guys who just decided to do this like a year ago, this is everything to us. We appreciate it.
We love you.
Absolutely.
Gentlemen, who's got first subject and to help me not need to talk right now because I will return shortly.
I know I'm not going after Richard. So
Colin, let's hear it, brother.
Okay. Sorry, let me get my thoughts gathered here really quick.
I thought you were gonna say your papers.
Let me get my notes. All right. So, oh gosh. Where is it? I wrote it down. Sorry, 1 second.
Should we-
anyways,
should we circle back to you?
Yeah, somebody else.
you want to go, Tyler?
Yeah, mine's a quick one.
Awesome.
I couldn't really think of too much, but I was looking at all the hunters earlier today, so I was like, this might be a good subject to talk about. Like, if you could have, like, kind of like with the rat, how she has a drowned rat variant.
Oh.
Oh, like, yeah. What what other hunters would you like to see kind of either be like a drowned variant or like a different type of variant, basically? Like, my example would be I would want a big titty goth Hail Mary. The end.
He's like, I just want a naughty Hail Mary
Accepted.
variant.
No.
Blood bonds now.
Like I want her looking like she came out of a Power Wolf video.
no, I
Image of, like a
I
Hail
think it.
Mary. That
I'm
was
sure
like
there
really-
is. Yeah, I'm
really-
risque. Yeah, I'm sure there is. But like, I would say, of course, because Hail Mary is my favorite. I would like to see a drowned version of Hail Mary because I think that would look really cool. She would look even more like
That would look awesome.
undead. Like I don't know. I think that would just be cool personally. But I don't know. I just kind of wanted to see what you guys were thinking. Maybe even other variants too, other than the drowned ones.
I mean, I think some like a hunter is would be terrible for balancing, but like maybe a mountain man that's on fire. So, like you see like skeleton and stuff. It's like totally like Ghost Rider shit, but like with the bear and stuff. But like it looked cool as shit with the effects.
dude.
I
Kinda
mean,
like Hellboy and
imagine-
stuff. But
Imagine that if it was like after the Scorched Earth event that
Right.
we got a mountain man that was just like scorched
torched.
bones.
Yeah. Like
He
you
just
could
had a
see
burnt
like half
face.
his skull or something
Yeah.
like that. Like he's missing an eye and
Like he's
whatnot.
playing with dynamite. Like.
Yeah.
Looks
Well, I
like
mean,
Dust.
I think the Scorch Earth stuff does have a lot to do with his lore too. I think because
Well, I know
he was a mountain
he-
man and they were burning down forests and stuff. So like,
Yeah, they were doing something and he barely escaped, as you guys heard in my poem the other day.
right? Yeah, I think that's why I remember the fire actually.
But the Mountain Man, like, I mean, the Jiggly Bear guy, like, you know,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
freaking great because all the characters in most games that I like to play as are more monster-esque anyways. So to make him more along those lines, like, even like, if you could play as the boss in these games, I'd be like freaking head over heels type thing. But yeah, Mountain Man kind of on fire would be really cool. Even like a drowned version though, like that sopping like bear, like just
Yeah.
even more over his back. But
Now hear me out.
another drowned rat.
That's
No,
hotter.
So, and I know that everybody hates this hunter, but we had
Gar, isn't it?
Uh
no, we had boss themed hunters already for Butcher,
Yeah, you're right.
Assassin, and
You're right.
and Scrapbeak. Let's take Reptilian and give him a Rotjaw themed skin.
Oh, that'd be
Like,
cool.
Amen.
Corrupted
like
Reptilian.
Yeah, that'd
So-
be
have
cool.
like the eyes, like have like between the scales glowing a little bit, and like
Yeah, funny
some-
enough
some
about
sort of
that,
that
just
corruption shit. coming
Yeah.
off of him.
I totally agree, but I would say my least favorite part about those reptilian skins is the fact they don't have a crocodile head covering them. Like the Lonely Howl, the Mountain Man, the all these, and even Red Riding Hood, they all have like skin over them, like the head of the animal. I think that would be so cool.
Imagine taking the Reptilian and then like modifying the hood of that cloak to have that cage
I'm on board.
that's around
Yeah, I'm on board.
Rotjaw's neck.
Yeah,
I'd
that would be
freaking love
sick.
That.
That
Uh-huh.
would be sick.
That would be
I
sick.
like
And
Yeah.
it would also, and it
Rotjaw
would
should
probably
have
make
some-
him more visible as well, because that's the issue everybody has with Reptilian. Like he'd actually be wearing black rather than swamp colors.
And have some blue
Swamp
glowing through him,
Yeah,
like
a little
you
bit
were
of
saying.
blue glow. Like I think that would be awesome, and it would be perfectly within lore to do.
Yeah, I think that would be sick. I'd love that. Love to see
Yeah,
something.
that sounds
similar.
awesome aesthetically.
Yeah.
I would like to see some variants on the turncoat. Like I would really enjoy seeing them even change him as he is now to like having some sort of symbols on his poncho thing that are like defaced or torn to show that he's like changed allegiances.
Oh, like the kind of like how like the symbols that they added on the headsman, or the symbols that are on like the what is her name? Is it the acolyte? I believe.
I think
The
so.
Night Acolyte.
Those are
Yeah,
more
yes.
visible on the Acolyte, yeah.
Yeah, like something like that. Yeah, I could see that.
So from what I'm hearing about what you guys are talking about, is this like an alternate version to an already there hunter?
Yes. So
Yes,
basically,
Exactly.
to give you a quick example, they already have the rat and then the drowned rat. Like, what other variants would we like to see?
Heavily biased, but since Hawkshaw Jack is dead,
Yeah.
I've undead version of Hawkshaw Jack, kind of like maybe
Revenant?
not exactly like the Revenant. Yeah, maybe not exactly like that would ruin his story, and they're already really good at doing that right now. And I mean the story in general, not just the Revenant. Sorry, Crytek, but your story writing seems to have gone downhill. But the worm bite, if he were like kind of like the infected, maybe something is bit him and he's starting to get infected with the plague. Yeah, I love those two characters. It's hard for me to not want something more demented versions of them. So I'm kind of like Colin. I just float around my favorite characters and go, yeah, possibly that.
It's funny you say that because we all just said our favorite characters.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
to
shit.
add to
I
that one,
didn't.
I would say, well, yours is already demented. It's okay. What I was gonna add is Sheriff Hardin should have one of those dark demented skins as well.
Well, he's a dark demented dude. Like
he is, but
he
think
got
about like
crazier and
if he had like
crazier.
a power up, he like goes all Resident Evil, and turns into this. I just fucking remember.
Oh my god.
Sheriff Hardin
is a
with
boss.
Sheriff Hardin with a hard on.
Hey.
The hard-on edition.
800 blood bonds, no other reason.
He looks exactly the same except for he is missing his pants and his member is showing.
Yo,
And there's just
That's
a big old black bar covering it at all times.
holy shit!
It's the Gmod error thing.
Error. I like that.
Yeah, that is great.
All right, so Rat, what you got for us?
So, I wanted to know, like, because, like, basically, imagining that Hunt is never going to go back to how it was, where the events are actually events, and like regular Hunt is no longer the event. What kind of cool, unique things do you think you'd like to see as an event mechanic?
Oh.
Great question. I obviously think that it needs to be more in-game engaging, and I think burning the snakes. I know it was total crap, but it was engaging and kind of story-driven. I think something to do with like maybe tearing the heart out of special infected and putting it into a clue portal so that it's like sending it back to the land of the damned where the fucking what is his name? The sculptor is. Maybe that's too extra. I don't know.
I mean, I'd love that because like the snakes added a layer of extra competition.
Functionality.
Like, it added more competition between players too, because you could kill a player, take all of their snakes, and then go burn them. So
Yeah.
if you were a solo and you wiped out a trio, you could take all of their snakes and go burn like 50 snakes in one go. It was crazy.
Having said that, I do like this newest event. I love its chaotic nature, how they have like the fortune tellers, how they have like the circus, like as a traveling circus, literally. Like I do think in terms of mechanics wise, this newest event is definitely the most polished and has the most content in it.
Mm-hmm.
And bringing back stealing the event points or the event pledge marks from people. That
You know what?
also helps.
Let's make a fucked up event. Looting an enemy has a chance to accidentally revive them.
Oh.
Chaos.
I'm totally joking. That would be so bad.
Well,
That
now
would
that
be
you
really
said
bad.
it, now they're going to do it, dude. Like,
Fuck.
you know, somebody in Crytek listens to us, so
Well, my reason for asking is because it goes hand in hand with me saying fucking custom ammo shouldn't exist. I'd like to see an event where like lore wise they don't have the stuff that they need to make custom ammo. So custom ammo is just gone for 3 months.
that'd be interesting. Like,
Hmm.
you could make special ammo through the event, though. Like, you'd have to like kill like 10 hives and bring their heads to this area, and now you can have poison ammo or something. I don't know. That would be
Oh, no.
interesting.
I'm fully on the side of all special ammo just fucking gone for 3 months.
Nah, that would get rid of guns completely. So
Single slots only. Let's watch the uppercut
Whoa.
take the crown again.
Oh dear God.
Let's make something real raunchy.
Here's
Well-
an idea. What, like, going along the lines of like killing things and taking bits of them somewhere else. What if you kill enough of a certain type of special infected, like hellhounds, hives, immolators, whatever, you get one instance of a burn trait where you can do a special attack like those special infected.
That'd be kind of cool.
That
Like
could be pretty
you
sweet.
just vomit out bees.
Yeah. Or you get like a dark sight
The
hellhound.
hand animation of that coming out of your hands or something.
Yeah.
Or you can throw like a fireball, like a single use of a fireball,
like a
like
Hellborn
yeah.
or something.
like Butcher or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's like the bosses,
Yeah.
do the boss powers.
And while we're talking about like new additions for event mechanics, what weapons would you add into the game for an event?
Catapult.
Fuck, I hate adding weapons
Yeah.
because I feel like every time we add a weapon, we add something that's got a toxic trait like the Chukonu. I'm not even kidding. I just feel like it gets oversaturated, and then old weapons or current weapons just get overshadowed, or maybe people just end up with too many options and the whole too much of a good thing. It just gets a little crowded, and I like options, but I also don't like feeling flooded, or
I think we're way past the flooded point, unfortunately.
Yeah, we're way past that. Now we're just throwing shit at the wall.
Okay,
Like,
so here's a
think
good tip for you, Crytek. If you give people way too much options, they're just gonna stick with what they know. Just saying.
Go. But
don't say.
if I have to entertain the thought, harmonica pistol. I said it before. There's also a harmonica rifle. Yeah,
That would be
I like them.
And Crytek, I'm just saying, 410 ammo was made in 1857.
So it could work. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it was 410 shotgun ammo for 44 caliber revolvers. So.
Well, the 44 caliber revolvers was ball and powder, black powder ones.
So the origins of 410 came from they were made for 44 caliber cartridge revolvers.
Well, around that time is when they started switching to the cartridges, because so here's the thing with you said it was 1857, right?
Yeah, that was when it was invented. It was 1908 when it started being made for
right. So in 1858, and I know this because my favorite revolver, the one that I posted in our group chat today, is the Remington 1858. That still was made for black powder. Like, that was the most common thing back in that time. Having said that, they did switch to cartridges pretty soon after. Like, and then we have the weapons like the PAX, the Single Action Army Colt, that were completely moved over to cartridges. That happened in a very short amount of time. Not to mention, Hunt, also, the universe gives a lot of creative control. They have the freaking bomb lance, for goodness sake. Like, they could do something crazy like that, So
there's that, and they've added guns already that didn't come out until like 1915, because they say that the AHA has access to like things that haven't come out yet. Mm-hmm. So it started getting into the U.S. in 1908. So we could get 410 shotgun ammo for some of the revolvers, which would be insane with fanning.
Yeah, I think that, not to disagree with you, but I do think that would be really cool. I would like to see something like that. Just like it adds a nice layer of chaotic versatility into the game.
Somebody fucking slaps 410 ammo on the same pistol.
Hear me out. Pocket sand.
Oh no! Hang on.
Hey, I know you're fucking with us right now, but that would be awesome because so there was a tool that ninjas used to have that was an egg that was filled with glass shards. it was like glass powder, and they'd fucking throw it at people. It'd get in their eyes, and it'd fuck them up.
Well, okay. If we're adding novel ideas like that, right, Tech? For a charm for guns, I would like truck nuts, please and thank you.
Hell yeah.
I want truck nuts on my gun.
I think a cool tool that they could add, just like a tool, like a Derringer or something. This is gonna sound weird at first, but I want you to think about this answer. A slingshot. That would be
I
interesting.
have said I want a
We-
slingshot.
Have
so
We've definitely
We
so
have
long
mentioned
for-
this
Uh-huh.
multiple episodes.
What was I here for those episodes? I don't remember that.
You
I think
were.
it was mentioned
Yeah,
last
the-
episode too.
The
funny
first
enough.
time we brought it up, I think, was the first episode that I was here.
Well, one of the biggest conspiracies is when the spear was introduced that it might be a slingshot.
That's true. Yeah.
And
That
if
was a
not a
conspiracy.
slingshot, give me a shepherd's sling.
Yeah.
Let me pick up a rock, put it in that fucking thing, swing it around a few times, and huck it.
What about caltrops? I think that's what they're called.
That'd be interesting. You walk through them and
Cause
you start
bleeding if you
Yeah.
walk through it. That's kind of
Exactly.
brilliant. That's
And
kind
it-
of brilliant.
and it
It
makes a
makes you-
noise.
Yeah, it makes you bleed, and you hear them.
And add on, let's add ourselves a boomerang.
Oh my god! All right,
But I
So-
want a new pistol more than anything. Like a new pistol, not a variant. A new pistol.
That's
We're not
why I
talking
said-
real life.
that's why I said
Harmonica
harmonica pistol,
Mhm.
baby.
Yeah.
I agree.
I want
with
that
the
more than
harmonica.
anything.
Yeah.
If you're curious what that even is, Google it. I swear you won't be disappointed.
Beautiful.
All right,
They also have a rifle in harmonica flavor. so
Richard.
there's that.
that is,
Well,
yes.
Colin still needs to go.
What Colin went before?
No.
No, he was preparing something. He found his stuff. So.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
go
mean
ahead, Colin.
here?
I just needed to remember what I wrote down. I took a nap and I forgot, but I had it written down. So, we've had a lot about this event that I know that we've all separately complained about, but I want to know what happened during this event, or what did they add during this event that you really, really enjoyed?
No, wait. Didn't Colin say about the alternate hunters?
That was
no, that
me.
was Rat.
No, that was me.
Oh, that was you.
Yeah, that was tight.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
You're good.
Okay, alternate. Anybody
Well-
got anything?
I mean, I do like that they added like a new boss. It's just mini boss, I should say. It's gonna be sad to see it go though. I don't know. It kind of
They
puts a
should
sour
make it
taste in my
roam
mouth.
the map like
Yeah.
a lost puppy or something.
That would be cool.
You mean the bears?
Yeah, the bears.
Oh,
Yeah. I just like new bosses, and I like this unique, horrifying circus boss with two heads. That's such a cool idea. I love
Really
that.
cool.
It would just be a
Intro-
shame to get rid of it after this event. I don't know.
introducing stuff that's that temporary is a huge mistake, especially with the amount of work that they put in. People already complain that Hunt Showdown has a lot of effort put in that it doesn't quite put out, if you know what I mean, where
Right.
they put so many resources into these events, and especially if it's disposable shit that disappears after the event.
Wildfire.
Bad idea.
No.
Yeah, wildfire needs to fucking
Yeah.
return. What a fucking huge mistake.
All the conditions
Wildfire,
come back.
fucking the
Yep, rain.
ash bloom. Both of those are rain hasn't been back since the fucking engine update.
Yep.
Exactly.
Like those three were the cool. The fucking serpent moon was a cool looking weather condition.
Yeah, where it's just like super bright at night.
Yeah, super bright, but it's like got the green filter.
Yeah, green
It's
tint.
so
Yeah.
good.
Well,
Those four things were awesome. You could tell a lot of work went into them, and then they just fucking threw them away.
Yeah.
let's just say that the engine upgrade had plenty of things that they needed to take care of first. So, I think
Having
this-
said that, they have done a lot. They have done a lot.
they have done a lot, but we need to bring stuff that you implemented to be continually in the game.
Yeah, don't just get rid of
Wild cards and
things.
stuff. Were
Yep.
And I mean,
a
we're
good
still
addition.
waiting on. Are we still waiting on a whole ass map? Yeah, we are. We're still waiting on December.
Yeah,
The Sal.
they kept
Yep.
saying it's here. Desal is here. Like they even had it on the Steam page. Desal is back. Blah blah. And I'm like, no, it's not.
Did?
Yeah, they did for a while. I think they were
Well-
just talking about their progress on it, but it's like,
Yeah,
don't get
they
people
were-
excited. If people see the words Desal, they're gonna assume that it's back. So,
They're
like,
they had a-
reverting back
They
to
had a
their old
preview
ways.
video showing like the lighting changes and stuff.
yeah, it's just Like, okay, this map better be the dopest thing I've ever seen, because I do not believe in rushing people finishing their projects. I believe time
Definitely.
needs to be put in.
Yeah, if you need the time, just take the
Yeah,
time. Don't tease us.
right.
Please
But I
don't.
want the saddle back! I want my weather conditions back! It was already done! The work was already there! Why are you taking it away? Like,
Give me back my game.
If I may interject, Tyler's the only one that's answered my question.
this is true. Sorry.
Chanting.
I've genuinely enjoyed the clown grunts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same, but it also acts as a whole new sound trap.
Keep
'Cause
them.
once you get near, they have that
them
loud
in.
ass laugh.
They're
Yes.
scary, bro. I love it.
Scary.
And
Refresh.
like
Oh, go ahead.
but between the grunts and the just having another like semi-central area that everybody might rush to for resources is a lot of fun. So
Yeah,
and
that-
those are the two
that at
I've
least-
enjoyed.
Right, but that at least that mechanic where the central kind of area has been a thing before, but I think they did it better this time, so I would agree.
This is more what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Than the map variation and stuff like that.
Like I said earlier, this event definitely feels the most polished out of all the big events. Recently,
Definitely.
anyways, so.
Yeah.
Okay. Refresh my mind. What was the exact question?
What about this event have you really enjoyed?
I hate to admit it, but the variety of shit, especially in the circus, like getting Fifield giving you random buffs, because we've mentioned that exact
Right.
thing in the past. I believe, Colin, you specifically mentioned something like that, and then I give the idea of Dr. Cherry doing it, but he no longer exists.
Yeah, he did.
It's
did,
been my
man.
favorite thing about this event personally, just Fifield.
There's nothing
As much
particular.
as we clown on it.
Yeah, there's nothing particularly special about this event other than the actual circus tent, if we're being honest. So, yeah, it would probably be. I didn't like it in the dead center before. I thought the dead center was way too cheesy. I like it way more when it's randomly spawned on the map. But
Yeah.
the rotating mega event point where there's extra shit in there, that was a good addition.
Now, that being said, Crytek, the bar has been set, and we will expect the same quality from Coolio's Gangsta Paradise event.
All right.
Oh, hell yeah. No, unfortunately, I'm pretty sure Coolio has since passed, so.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
Okay, Snoop Dogg's Gangsta Paradise.
There you go. There you go.
Call of
sends-
Duty, Fortnite, and Hunt Showdown tier.
He's so irrelevant now. Other than the whole him going on the cooking channels, that's pretty funny.
No, that's so wholesome. I love it.
That and like his kids' videos. Like I'll
Yeah.
have my kids sitting up there fucking listening to that shit all day.
Yeah, but otherwise, I think the circus tent thing. That's basically my number one answer.
Yeah,
That's
it's
kinda what-
like it's like a compound without being a full compound, and I kind of love that.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
That's kind of what I said earlier in this episode. I was like, I really have been enjoying the variety and the chaotic nature that this has brought before us with those random buffs and the new clowns that just laugh at you. Like, that's so cool. Like, it's cheesy as hell, but like, I still love it. I don't know. It still
Well, that's
fits.
the thing is,
Where do
it
these
fits
come
in the
from, their
lore.
joy? Oh, it's from watching other people's games crash.
they take out the lore, but then they bring in the fun. So I'll give them that. You know,
I mean, the lore's still there. That circus
I'm
is really
saying the
big during
writing
that.
and stuff
The,
like
the
that.
lore's there,
Right,
but
it's
you have to
weird.
go to their website to find it.
To the website.
Yeah, it's
Right.
not in the freaking game for some reason.
Did anybody not get their answer in?
Me, but I'm gonna say something real quick. The shredder, if it was actually worth a damn.
Dual shredders.
I like that.
I will
That-
say, even after the
I'm
nerf,
so
the shredder
sad.
is incredibly fun to play.
It's
Nobody uses
interesting.
it, and picking it up is just a hassle, and just like it's so sad how destroyed that weapon was. But I will miss it nonetheless.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's again,
You
it's like
take
one of
it-
those things they take out. Like, and
Yeah,
it's like,
you-
why take it out? You put it in the game. Like,
You take it with the expectation of losing.
Well, I'm
And
okay
it
with
makes
that
it
if I could get 9 points really quick, but I
Yeah,
find
that's so
myself
dumb.
getting 10 freaking over 10 freaking games before I can even get to it. And then it's like, oh, I can get the shredder. Oh, I've been shredding people with my other guns. Oh, why do I need the shredder? Why do I care?
I'm with you there.
It's sad. That's what it's sad. I'll miss it because it's sad. It was it was atrocious. A travesty. What happened to the thing?
I'll miss it because I missed everything with it.
Yeah, no doubt. Seriously, that thing could
Except
not
Alright.
for the
anything.
one team I killed.
All right,
Yeah,
gentlemen.
that's
All right. So, Richard, Tyler wants you to go first. Let's hear it.
All right, I'll go first. All right, last time we were together, I was kind of playing on the whole idea of sound and poetry and stuff, obviously. Pulse Sulfur does the music for this game and excels at giving this game the vibe, musical soundtrack, and tone for this game. With that being said, what songs, soundtracks, musical compositions do you associate with Hunt Showdown? That being a theme song, a playlist of music you have compiled and use while you play, or even an overall vibe of a particular song that you can't get out of your head while you play this game. Lastly, it could even be a moment where you have been playing and a song just pops into your head.
Heavy metal because I like to keep the intense vibe, but I also like chill shit for when I'm walking through the bayou. Just
Do you
like
have any like artists or even like anything like that, or just more
Ge-
generic?
general lo-fi is really great.
Gotcha.
So Barnes Courtney, they are like who I generally think of. The second their music comes on, I think Hunt.
What kind of music is it?
It's hard to explain. It's like I guess new age semi country.
Okay.
They've got a song called Hellfire and another song that's just called Fire, and both of those songs, the whole time I listen to them, it makes me think Hunt Showdown.
This is gonna. Oh, you go first, Colin.
Oh, thank you. I honestly, there's this song called "Birthday Suit" by Cosmo Sheldrake, and the only way that I can really describe this song is I feel like it's the music that would play if you're taking nice big steps barefoot through the forest.
That's an interesting take.
Yeah.
I don't know. It pops into my head. A lot of the Cosmo Sheldrake songs remind me of Hunt. Give it a listen and you'll understand.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out.
Yeah,
Post
definitely.
it in the chat so everyone else can too. That would be great.
So like in the voice chat or like in HBE
Yeah,
general?
I'll put it in this chat here.
Okay.
All right. What would you say, Richard?
Kind of like what was interesting because I've got multiple examples, but usually when I'm playing this game, I generally don't listen to music. But when I'm thinking about a song, it's usually associated with like when someone like teammate says something, and then it's like, oh, I associate kind of with that. But it's usually more upbeat, kind of what I go with. Kind of like dark synth pop type thing is always good with this stuff because like it's got that vibe of like that eeriness, but it's always progressive, so like you're continually going on the hunt and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, the reason to clarify general lo-fi that I just like that vibe is, there's no lyrics or anything. It's something I can listen to, but also kind of zone out.
Tune
But
it out, yeah.
Yeah, but if I had to pick like an actual lo-fi artist, Laffy, it's spelled Laffey. It's just super relaxing shit.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of like thinking just along the lines of like anywhere from like bands or like I said, even moments like let's say like you catch on fire and then you're just like we didn't start
Doom
the fire or
soundtrack.
something, or even the Doom soundtrack or something like that.
My answer is going to be also oddly specific. like I've always like him or not, like that's like I like him, but I know a lot of
Post
people don't,
Malone.
which is fine. No,
Just kidding.
no. Marilyn Manson. He has this album called The Pale Emperor, and that's kind of when he started transitioning from like the metal to like kind of more darker rock sound, and it sounds kind of bluesy and westerny. Every time I think like I hear that album, like a song from the album comes on, I do think of like the vibes of Hunt Showdown because it's like that dark yet western kind of twisty feel. Yeah, check it out. Like, it's Pale Emperor. I think you will see where I'm making those conclusions from.
Marilyn Manson's an incredible artist.
Yeah, his newest
Really
album
is.
is freaking fire. By the way, oh my gosh, so good.
Anybody?
Anyways, yeah.
Does anybody have any other opinions about music associated with Hunt? Because I bet people would have great opinions if we
Yeah.
didn't actually hear them.
I'd actually love if people would post what they do or like what they listen to or what
Yeah.
artists remind them of Hunt or
Yeah.
things like
I
that.
think
Like,
that'd be
'cause-
really awesome to hear from other
Yeah.
people on that.
I've listened to so much Rammstein playing Hunt.
hell yeah.
Well,
Rammstein.
if you guys have listened this far, yeah, absolutely comment that, and we'll try to bring it up again. That would be a really fun subject.
Yeah.
All right, Ty, what's the final subject for us? Let's hear it.
I mean, I already said mine.
Oh, did you? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Who am
That
I
was
missing?
our one.
But to rehash
That's the last one.
That was
to
the
re-
last.
to rehash my subject, I'm telling you, big boobied goth Hail Mary. The end.
God damn.
Nice.
To
Yeah,
summarize
I
what
did-
you should take away from this episode.
Yes.
I did step away, so I also got a bit confused. All right.
That's okay.
Anybody got any final thoughts?
I like this game.
Me too.
I love this game.
I hate
truly
this
do.
game. This game hates me so much. I can't leave. I can't escape. Every time I get mad and I yell, my wife is like, "Oh, it's time to take a break." I'm like, "I know," and then I don't.
I hate this game.
Well-
It's my favorite game.
Since it's the end of the episode, I find it appalling how many people complain about randoms in this game. I think you guys really need to fucking deal with your skill issues and how you play with other people. And yeah, that's about it. Obviously, none of our listeners, because you're all selfless, beautiful people, and we
Oh,
know
excellent.
that you have wonderful taste.
It's
Okay.
except for me
Also,
because
like-
except for me because I don't like to play with randos. So
And also, like, now you can talk to randos. So
I do like that they
le-
fixed
less
that.
of an issue.
that's
playing
much
with
better.
randoms now.
Yeah, it's much better. Yeah.
It's so funny because genuinely I've played with randoms and it's exactly the same experience as what you'd think. Queue up with people you've never met and that's about what you're gonna get. And if you complain about it, well, you're a dumbass for not figuring out how to play solo. And if you want to complain about having random teammates, maybe you should have just gotten good and played by yourself.
Like me.
Amen.
I mostly just play by myself because I don't like to let other people down because I'm a failure. So
I'm a
I'm
failure
just
too,
shy.
but I just want to rat on them because it's funnier.
yeah, no, I do know what you're throwing down. Basically, what you're saying, just try playing with other people. You might enjoy it actually. Meet new
Absolutely.
friends.
Yourself.
It's just like playing with your friends, except they shoot you less at extract.
Or more.
More.
Which
Yeah.
is even better.
And it's even funnier when somebody accidentally wipes the whole team. Rat.
I said less when it's random.
All right. I do want to shout out all of our honorary hunters. Boys ready?
Yarp.
Yep.
All right.
Yarp.
A Cunning Rogue, Big Monkey CNC, Call Me Roy, Drake, Element, Glonky Pete, Gumbo John, Hans, Hazmat, Jay Tizzle, Kit, Chris, Kooky Saki, Mama Bear, Mimic, Gray, Penguin. Dr. Soda changed his name in the server, so sorry you weren't up there where you normally are, and Sway. And I also want to thank our two co-podcasts, if you will, if you want to call them that. 5 minutes to extract and waiting for other players. You guys are also absolutely beautiful. Kit and Brendan, John, Kat, and Harrison. We love you guys. And we want to thank all of you for listening to this episode. And as always,
Stay hunting.
stay hunting, everyone.
Hey, hunting.
Big
Hunt
booty
for-
goth.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna
Hail
say.
Mary.
Hunt for that big
Can't stay
booty
hunting.
goth. Yep.
Is that the outro, Rat?
Tyler, give us an outro. Come on.
No, I'm with
Tyler.
him. Big booby goth. Hunt for that big booby goth. Hail Mary. There you go. The end.
She's around somewhere. We just gotta believe in her.
Yeah.
Anime may be for weebs, but depending on who your waifu is, I'm gonna judge you.
Oh, post your waifu. Everyone post your waifus.
Yes.
Come on now. I want to see what taste in women you have. 'Cause we all have terrible taste, I'm sure. So
Hey,
we
you take
we
that
all
back.
only
My
are
wife is
attracted to
amazing.
the ones that are bad for
my
us.
wife is cooler.
Nah.
The
My
outro
wife
still
is
going?
cooler.
Hey man, I'm just saying, like as a kid, the best snacks came with tattoos, and as an adult, I find that to also be true. They just also come with like a bad attitude.
Hey, yo.
We all know that Kane's got the fattest ass from living out in the wilderness for so long.
Ah, he's got to tone it. Yeah.
All that bear fat and whatever the fuck else. Good night, everyone.
This is the longest outro I've ever been a part of.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Love you, bye.
Oh shit, I can't find
Dude,
the
we
fucking
have got to
button.
leave that shit in.